Juicy story time. Sending the wrong person on Cash App over $200, them trying to keep it, and then you find out who the they are, and let's get into what ended up happening. I'm gonna do this in a couple parts, so it's not like excessively long in one video, but it's tea, okay? So if you don't know, I sell luxury, high quality, like LVs, Gucci, stuff like that, okay? So we're gonna call one of my friends, we're gonna call her Emily, okay? Emily had messaged me a few days earlier. She was gonna get a bag, right? And a couple days had went by, and then she touched back with me this Saturday, and I was at Disneyland when she touched back with me. And she's like, hey, like, I'm ready to buy a bag, okay? So Emily was ready to buy a bag. She'll probably comment on here and you guys will know who's, but I'm just for the, privacy of her. So Emily is like, okay, this is the one I want. What is your Apple Pay? We're on TikTok at this point, okay? So I give her my Apple Pay. And if you have nails, you know that we be fucking up. We always do typos. I am queen of typos and I know it. So anytime I'm sending any of my Zelle, my Cash App, anything, I double, triple check because I know that I be fucking up. But of course, this time, because I'm in Disney, you know what I mean? Like, I just send it thinking I'm fine. I didn't say, hey, text me before you send it. None of the things that I usually do, which was, of course, my mistake. So she's like, okay, cool. And then she comes back and she's like, sent. As soon as I looked down and seen that she said sent, I knew immediately that I sent the wrong number because it hits like that. And I hadn't got a text or nothing. So I just knew it. So I scroll up. Yep. The last digits of my number, instead of it being a 4, I sent a 5. So I'm like, oh my God, I sent you the wrong number. Please tell me it didn't go through. Cancel it. Please tell me like it did not go through. Because I'm thinking like the likelihood that I sent her a wrong number and that person also has an Apple phone. It also has Apple Pay set up. Like, what's the likelihood? She's like, she comes back and she's like, it went through. So I'm freaking out and I'm like, oh my God. So I look up how to cancel an Apple Pay. And it says that you're able to go to the transaction and it should say cancel if the person has not accepted it. Which means like if you haven't said, if it's just sitting in your wallet and you haven't touched it or nothing, you could cancel it. But if that person has accepted it and like deposited it, you can't get it back. So she immediately goes and tries to cancel it. There's no cancel. Then this person, so my customer had texted, hi, this is Emily, and immediately sent the money. So the person sent back, we're going to call her Dulce, that's her name. So Dulce sends back and is like, I don't know, and Emily, do you want your money back? And Emily is like, yes, please. And like sends the praying, like, and then she did a request for the $235 that she sent her. $235, you guys. We're not talking about $20. $235. So she sends the request. Dulce has her read receipts on. Okay. So she's reading all of this. But as soon as she did the request for the money, delivered. Sends her another message and she's like, hello, are you going to send it back? Delivered. Dulce is no longer answering the messages or reading the messages. So I'm just thinking, I'm trying to put myself in her position and I'm thinking for a second, like, okay, maybe she's thinking it's a scam. Like maybe she's going to call Apple, like, give her a second to like figure, whatever. But I also start thinking like, if she thinks it's a scam, why would she accept it? Still though, giving her a few minutes. I would say like an hour passes, nothing. She doesn't read it. She doesn't respond, nothing. So I'm like, I'm going to text her too. So I text her. And again, we have the exact same number, except for one digit at the end. So I'm like, she'll clearly like see, hey, this is my same number. So obviously it was a mistake, right? So I text her and I was like, hey, are you going to send Emily's money back? read immediately. Okay, not read a few minutes later, like immediately. She had to have been literally looking at her phone. Read. No, nothing back. No bubble, nothing. So I again text and I'm like, are you seriously about to steal her money? Like, you're not going to send her money back? Are you really about to steal Emily's money? Delivered. Wait a few more minutes and I send her another message and I'm like, I really can't believe you're about to like take her money. I'm like, you acknowledged that you don't know her and she told you she accidentally sent you the money and you offered to send it back and now you're ghosting? Like, what is the deal? Delivered. So I kept just basically saying, like, are you sending the money? Like, what's going on? You know, like pressuring her, like, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing. No response to me, no response to Emily. At this point, hours had passed by and she is not answering any of us. So, I'm like, all right, I sending her messages over and over, like she's not, either she turned off her read receipts or she just stopped like reading them altogether, right? So I start thinking, what can I do? Like, so I'm like, let me download a text now app so I could text her from another phone number. So I do that. And this, I'm still in the park. I would say this is like 8 or 9 p.m. at this time. Okay. So I download it and I'm like, hey, so I'm like wanting her to think like several people are pressuring her, like, girl, what the fuck, you know? And like I said, she's never responded after she said she was going to send it back. So how are you not even going to, like, if you thought anything weird, like, how would you not even respond? Like, be like, hey, let's call Apple Pay together. I feel weird about this, or something. Like, just ghosting is not looking good at this point. So yeah, so I message her and I'm like, listen, are you really about to do this? I said, we are going to make a police report and it's also going to be put in with her bank and you're going to end up getting a negative on your bank account. So you might as well just send it back and avoid all of this. That's what my first message was, right? Because that's what I wanted her to get. Like, girl, are you really about to like deal with all of this drama over this? Like, just send it back. Even though the bank probably was definitely not going to give it back and the police definitely weren't going to do anything about it. Pressure. You know what I mean? So she reads it and then same thing. I'm thinking she's not like reading it anymore. She doesn't reply. Send her another one. And I'm like, girl, I said, since you're trying to steal this money from her and you're not responding, I said, it's cool because I'll make a post on social media. We live in the same area. And I will ask if anybody knows who you are, if anybody knows your phone number, because we just want the money back. Like, send the money back to Emily. It's her money. She accidentally sent it to you. Why are you keeping her money? Doesn't respond. After, though, like an hour or so, the last one I said was, I'm going to blast you on social media to find out who you are. She responds with, I'm going to call the cops and Apple. And I said, please do. Please do. Please. I said, we could do it together. Please. Because the cops are going to tell you, why are you keeping her money if you know it's not for you? Like, so please, I said, call Apple. She can call Apple. Like, y'all could all fucking call. Like, let's do it. Doesn't respond. Like, if you thought anything weird about it, I'm literally telling you to call the police, to call Apple. So clearly, like, there's no funny business when I'm telling you to do that. So I was like, please do that. Please. I beg you to fucking do that. Doesn't respond after that. So that's the last thing that we hear. Still no response to Emily's actual phone. Nothing. So I get back to my Airbnb. It's like 11:40 at night. And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I'm not letting this go. Like, I'm not letting it go. So I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck do I find out who she is? I already started the, like, on Google and nothing came up. Bitch, it just came to me. Cashapp. The only reason I know this is because of all of the shady men on here, their girlfriends come on here with phone numbers and put it in Cash App and then find out who they're creeping with. That's how it came to my mind. Cash App. So I go to Cash App. Bing! Immediately. I have her name and I have her picture. So now I got you. I was going to send a request on there and be like, I know who you are, send the money back. But I had to think about how to do this, right? Like I said, she was not responding to any of the numbers I already texted her. So I'm like, I get on my work phone and I'm like, I'll just call her on here. I'm like, wait. No, because it says, like, if you call my work phone, my voicemail says, like, who I am, who I work for. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I download another texting app. And I also, in a texting app, you guys, you can, like, search people's phone numbers and it'll give you a name as well. So if you didn't know that, you can do that in a texting app. Just as you, like, it'll tell you who it's registered to. So it comes up with the same exact last name, but a different first name. So I'm assuming it's like maybe like a parent, or either it's her like full name, you know what I mean? Like something like that. The picture, the girl looked like she's probably like 23, 24, something in that area. Like not old, but not like super young. It was like her and her boyfriend, I think, in the picture. So I text and I said, hey, her name wasn't Dulce, but I'm not going to put the last name. I said, hey, Dulce, blank, blank, or blank, blank, the other name. I said, it wasn't very hard to find out who you are. I said, so are you going to send back the money now? Or are we really going to have these kind of problems? Like, we just want the money back. So we know who you are and we just want the money back. So, yeah. And like I said, it was almost midnight at this point. So I waited a minute and I didn't get a response. So I went to sleep. She was probably asleep. Who knows? So the next morning. So I wake up the next morning. It's like 8:15. And I get the phone. And what do you know? We finally have a response from Dulce. Mrs. Dulce, who wanted to just ghost everybody. Now that I know who you are, you responded. So her response along the line was, her first sentence was, I'm sending the money back. And then she said, I thought it was a scam and I got scared when you were threatening me, when you guys, because again, she doesn't know it was all me. You guys were threatening me and I was scared for my life and you were going to dox me. Like, girl, you were keeping somebody's money that gave you so many chances to send it back. Like, I asked numerous times, she asked numerous times, you ghosted. Like, so yeah, I was gonna ask if anybody knew who your number is before I found it out myself. So fuck yeah. Yeah. So she was like, I was scared and I thought I was being scammed. And yeah, so that's basically what she had to say. And she's like, I'll send it back when I get an apology. So I was like, this bitch, like, girl, you literally deposited it into your bank account, but you thought it was a scam. You thought it was a scam, yet you ghosted. If I think something is a scam, if I were to, and I gave her the benefit of the doubt at first, because I was like, if I were to get a payment over $200 I wasn't expecting, they'd be like, send it back. First, I may have, like, what's going on? Let's call Apple. Like, but the last thing that I would do if I'm worried something is a scam is going to click to deposit that shit into my bank account. That will stay exactly where I ain't gonna touch the shit. She deposited it into her account. So girl, like, that don't even fly. And before I told her I was gonna blast it, like I said, we had asked numerous times. I even told her to call Apple, to call the fleet, like, do all of those things if that makes you feel better. But yeah. So I was like, okay, do I play nice, or I just want the fucking money back? You know what I mean? So at this point, it was the principle, because regardless, my customer was getting what she, even though the money didn't come to me, she was getting exactly what she paid for, because that was my mistake. Like, my customer did nothing wrong. That was 100% my mistake. So regardless, if she got the money back and it got to me, or it didn't. She's still getting what she paid for, you know? But it's the principle at this point. Like, I'm not about to let nobody rob her, you know? So, I'm like, just be nice. So I reply along the lines of, I can like screenshot it if you guys want all that. But I was like, I'm sorry that you felt that way. I was like, you know, we weren't trying to threaten your life. We just wanted the money back. I said, you know, how would you feel? I literally told her, how would you feel if you sent somebody over $200 and they ghosted you and weren't trying to send it back? I think you would be a bit upset too. I said, you know, we asked numerous times and you wouldn't send it, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but I'm sorry it came to this. I'm sorry it blew out of proportion. You know, I'm sorry you felt that way. We just want the money back. So she texted back with like, thanks for apologizing or something, and I'll send it back. It was either I got scammed or I look like an asshole, and I'm not an asshole, so I'm gonna send it back, like that, right? So I was just like, okay, just send it back. So I send Emily the text, and I was like, girl, she's gonna send it to you. And she's like, how did you get her to do that? So I was like, I just told her I know who you are. And she was gonna, and y'all, 100%, 110%, she was not gonna send that money back at all. She deposited it into her bank account, but the second she seen that we know who she is, she no longer was going to keep it, because she knows that I know who you are. She didn't know at that point how much information I had, but I had her full name. And I hadn't even done more digging. Like, that was 5 minutes of like doing it. If she didn't respond the next day, we were going to do some real digging, because I will go to your house. So I'm just glad she responded. But I will show you how I know for sure she planned to keep it. So Emily was like, oh, like, that's so cool. Like, thank goodness. Like, thank gosh, you got to do that, all of that. So I'm like, did she text you? And she's like, yeah, she said she's going to send it back. She's sending it on Cashapp. What? Again, whatever. I don't give a fuck. As long as you send it whatever means you need to be. But her saying she has to send it on Cashapp just reiterated that money was no longer in her wallet, because it should have been an easy here, right back where it came from. Like, when you get Apple Pay, anybody who has Apple Pay knows, like, when you get Apple Pay, it literally will just like sit in your little wallet thing unless you go into it and accept you transfer it. So you have to either transfer it to your bank, which takes a couple days for free, or you do an instant, which is like a couple, depending how much, you know, if it's a couple hundred, it's like $4 or something like that. So her having to do it on Apple Pay, on Cash App, tells us that it's no longer in her wallet. Which, I thought you thought it was a scam. Why are you putting that into your bank then, Dulce? So yeah, so then she texted her, you know, she gave her, Emily gave her the Cash App, and then she responded with, I'm not sure, like, why it's not letting me transfer or something. And if it doesn't, in 20 minutes, you're going to have to wait till I'm out of work. So I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, here we go. Like, the girl 100% put it into her bank, probably spent some of it, and is now figuring out how to get that full amount back to her. Which we know that's what was going on. But she did end up sending it just like 5 minutes later. So she got the money back and she was able to send it to me. Everything was good. But because like I'm 100% gonna give her something for free, just my Emily, because of like she had to call her bank, she had to call PayPal, like it caused drama in her day as well, which I felt horrible about. Like, I feel so bad. It was an accident, but still, like, it caused drama. It was just a whole ordeal. It didn't have to be, because she could have just instantly sent it back and kept it pushing, but she didn't. She wanted to keep it, which whatever. It's just a story to, like, y'all, be very careful when you send money on any of these apps. Be 1000% sure that you're sending it to the right person. Send $1 first. If it's Apple Pay, send a text to make sure you're texting the right person. be very, very careful, because truly there was nothing that we could do to get it back. If she didn't send it back, it would have been gone. There was nothing Apple could do. There was nothing that her PayPal could have done. We would have been out of the money. So just make sure you do that, because there's truly no protection for you. And there were people in my comments when I was doing a story time that were like, if somebody sent that to you, you wouldn't keep it. Are you so real? Like, no, that's what the. So yeah, just be careful. But we got it back, so yeah, all good.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We on Twitch and we on Facebook, lit, and we live. Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta. I 100% blame this on the storyteller because she sent the wrong phone number. Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? And then, not only that, if she's texting you, I don't understand if y'all are having a text conversation. Maybe it was because she was texting her from a different phone, and the Apple Pay goes to a different phone number. That would mean one thing. Another thing is, and I get that with business owners. With business owners, you want to keep stuff separate. Another thing is that, like she said, send $1 first to confirm it. But one time I was dealing with somebody, or actually it was my friend, and he was locked up. And when my friend asked me for some money back in the day, I sent it to him. And then it was no big deal. But then I knew he got out. And then when he got out, I was still getting requests from him. So I sent him some, and I was like, man, I thought I seen this fool out. So I hit my homie up when my friend asked me again. And I'm like, man, I just seen him out in the streets. So I know, and I'm not seen him in the streets. I seen him on Facebook, but I know he's free, and I know he ain't broke. So I'm like, what the hell? And then, so I hit my homeboy up. I was like, hey, is the homie free? And he was like, is the homie locked up? Because somebody keep requesting money from me. Like, they'll text message me. They even went so far as sent me a picture of him saying, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So I know they probably got me like 1 or 2 times for like $25 here and there. And I'm just like, bruh. And then, but one time when I was sending money, it said scam likely. And so at one point I just stopped answering. I just stopped replying, and they stopped asking. And I was like, yeah. They was getting, because after my friend told me that it was a scam, I just stopped replying. And they just kept texting, and I was just like, man, the gig is up. So, it's crazy when you got people locked up. When you got people locked up, you really don't be checking on these fools. Because when they get out, you don't know. Because once they get out, they don't hit you up really like that, It ain't a bad thing, but it's just like, So people still acting like, they can get money out you. So it's crazy, man. I was like, damn, that's shady than the mug. That's shady. So, yeah, nah, you gotta watch it. I know Zelle is a great way to send money. Also, it goes by phone number or email address, Zelle, but it also asks you to confirm. But since Zelle is through your bank account, when I type in a person's phone number, it pulls up their name. It knows exactly who it is set up, who has their bank account set up through Zelle. Even businesses, like I've seen businesses that use Zelle, and when you put that business email in or the business phone number or whatever you do, the business name pops up and it says this is correct business. So it's something legit. It's something that you could confirm. And actually, and if it so happened to be a scam, like somebody scamming is something close to it, and somebody got a scam uh bank account and stuff like that they set it up to, which I doubt. I doubt Zelle will have a scam bank account. But if they go that far, um, you can get your money back through Zelle, and that's a good thing. But I don't think anybody will scam through a bank account because that's a federal crime that's easily traceable. So I don't think they'll actually do that. You know what I mean? So that's why I love Zelle because it's through my actual bank. Like my actual bank is Zelle. You know.
Everyday people. Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.